Ping pong. You guys like playing ping pong? What's going on, everyone? Jeremy Hritz here. Courage pays better than fear trading. Happy Friday. Hope you guys had a phenomenal week out there in the markets and just life in general. And I am on my way to run a few errands, and here I am recording an episode of Driven. And I asked at the outset of the show, do you like ping pong? Because the markets, volatility, my Lord. Yesterday, what a day. Big pop off of those NVIDIA earnings, up 125 points, then dumped, finished down 104 points. And today, at the time that I'm recording this, the SPX pushing higher. Again, lots of, there's always confusion at the stop sign. The SPX pushing higher, and at the time that I'm recording this, up about 74 points. We're seeing the broader markets lift up, but we have to be cautious because when you're in a true correction, or if we're headed into bear territory, the rips get shorted and sold off. So we have to watch and see if that's what happens here, or if some stability can be found. We did hit that 100 SMA on the Qs and on the SPX, and honestly it looks like it wants to come down and get that 200 at some point. So today could just be a little mini relief rally. We have to see what's going to play out here, but a nice little reprieve here today for the bulls. But the other thing to take into consideration is, you know, on these drops, being that we are in a bull cycle, things go on sell, and the saying, the mantra, buy low, sell high, is true. Now, I'm not saying that the bottom is in yet, because we don't know that. We could try our best to predict with the charts, looking at micro and macro economic data, but there are things that are solid value points, right? Take a look at Meta. It is trading well below its value. It has absolutely been smoked after its last earnings report. It continued to drop, and it's not a bad opportunity to pick up some shares here. Now, I had set $1,000 as the price target on Meta by the end of the year. That is looking very, very much in jeopardy at this point, but it's a great stock. It typically recovers from its losses, and it's at a good value. And so there's plenty of stocks out there in that camp, in that category, but that doesn't mean go and load the boat. You don't want to load the boat yet, because we don't know if the bottom's in. And if you just look at the charts right now, you can see that there's a lot of overhead resistance. That 10-day exponential moving average, the 50 is above, so there's quite a bit of work to do. But we have to keep that in mind when we get these drops. They are gifts. They put things on sell for us. And then what ends up happening when they go on these big, massive runs, we're kicking ourselves saying, man, why didn't I buy at that point? There is a spider in my car. You see that? I'm not afraid of spiders, by the way. My kids and my wife are deathly afraid of spiders. So I have to be the one who intervenes, and I don't kill them. I just grab them and throw them outside. I haven't been bitten yet. That one didn't bite me. Anyway, I digress. So things are on sale. We're getting a little bit of a relief bounce, but we know how this market works. We saw that pop yesterday. It just got sold off hard. That could happen today, but let's see if the bulls can get a nice close heading into the weekend. Now, seasonality. Let's talk seasonality here quickly. We've flown in the face of seasonality pretty much all year, because August, September, October are historically weak. We made new all-time highs. And November, which is typically the start of the best 6 months in the stock market, it started with a bust. However, the final week of November is the strongest, most bullish week of the month of November, which historically is strong. Doesn't mean anything's going to happen. However, if you just look at history, historical data, there are nice runs that happen. And are we going to get the Santa Claus rally? So I will have more discussion on that here in upcoming episodes of Driven. I did a traders podcast on it quite a while back. If you want to search that, or I'll even put it on the screen here at the end. So if you watch, you can check that one out. But that's where we are at this point. We're finding some relief, and really what triggered this, at the start of the day, they interviewed a Fed president who's generally hawkish, and he said that there is room to lower fiscal policy, lower that Fed rate. So that's why we're getting a little bit of relief. So let's see if it sticks. Let's see if it holds. Get your ping pong paddle out, because we're just ping ponging back and forth. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, have a phenomenal weekend. I will have an episode before Thanksgiving, but let me extend some early gratitude to you guys for supporting the channel. Thank you so much. And a shout out to my man, my trading coach, Jeremy Newsom. Had a conversation with him today. It's been a while since he and I chatted. Jeremy, love you, bro. Thanks for taking time out for me. And take a moment today. Here's a call to action. Nothing even related to trading. Pause. Just go tell someone thank you. Your wife, your kids. Pick up the phone. Call somebody, mom, dad. If you're still fortunate enough to have them in your life, just say thank you. That's what this month is all about. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it. Make it a great day. Honor the moment. And as always, be grateful. Take care, everyone.